Hello and welcome. My name is Miss Rainbow, and I'm a teaching artist with ahha Tulsa. Normally, I might visit your school today and do this lesson, but since we're trying to stay healthy and keep others healthy, we're going to be creative virtually. Today, we'll be doing my bee-friendly art class, which I like to do to kind of get you to where you're not so afraid of bees and you want to look at them as friends. And so what we'll need today to do this project is you can just do basic paper, lined paper if you have some, regular paper, a pencil, and a marker of some sort, black preferably. And if you want to color it in the future too, you can do markers, colored pencils, things of that nature. So first I want to talk about the importance of the bees. The bees are here because we need them to pollinate everything. And if we didn't have the bees, there would be no fruit and flowers, and so we really need the bees to be working. That's their favorite thing, is to work. And so when we talk about pollination, bees cross-pollinate, and they go from flower to flower. And as they're going to flower, they are getting nectar from each flower that they are getting with their tongue, and they're taking that nectar and they are storing it in their honey stomach. And they have a separate stomach for their food, but that's where they're storing that nectar. And once it's full, they will go back to the hive. And so while they're doing that, though, they are going from flower to flower, from plant to plant, and they've got these little bristle things on them. They're taking the pollen and they're spreading it to other plants, and it really helps it grow. And so farmers like to have a beehive or a bee box. A lot of them may have a box by their garden. So if you have a garden A and it has a beehive by it, and then you have garden B and it doesn't have a beehive by it, garden A's garden is going to be so much better than garden B's garden. And so we want to make sure that they're staying here so those farmers can grow the food too. So next I'm going to talk about the beehive. And in doing that, I am going to switch around here because I'm going to do some drawing. So bear with me for a minute. All right. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. And the beehive consists of a lot of what's called hexagons. And inside each hexagon, this hexagon has several different purposes. First, it stores the honey, but it also is where the queen lays her eggs, which is called larvae, and they grow inside the hexagon. So the hive is made up of all kinds of hexagons, and a hive can kind of look, have different forms like this, and it likes to hang from a tree or some kind of heavy thing that can hold it. Or it can come in a box like you see on a farm, and then they just kind of have a little entryway that they go into. And that's how a lot of beekeepers and farmers have their beehives, and that's totally workable as well. But generally the beehive is off in a distance, and I'll tell you who likes to get that beehive is, if it's around, is a bear. The bear is probably the biggest predator next to humans with the bees, or wanting their honey. And so they go, the larvae, which is the queen's job, is to lay the eggs in the hexagons. Pretty much that's her main job, is to just lay eggs. Lay eggs and lay eggs, and as long as she's productive, she can stay queen. And so while they're in the larvae, there are 3 types of bees too. There's the queen bee, there's the worker bee, and there's the nursing bees. And by nursing, they take care of the hive. They take care of the larvae, and they take care of the queen. So the nursing bees stay in the hive. The worker bees go out to get the nectar and pollen and do their pollen job of pollination. And the queen bee, her main job is just to lay eggs. Okay? Got that. So when the bees go out, they go get the pollen. But right now, let me see here. Right now, the bees are kind of facing a lot of dangers with what's going on. And if they go out and they try to find some flowers and they can't find any, it's not going to be good for the bees. And we are doing stuff like we're spraying herbicide. And herbicide is a plant. It kills plants. And a lot of times we want to use it for the weeds. And a lot of times those weeds produce the dandelion, which are those pretty yellow flowers that grow. But they're also considered a weed, but they're also the first food for the bees. So if you see any yellow dandelions, I would leave them alone because we want them for the bees to eat. Also, the clover is really good. They produce the 3-leaf clovers, 4-leaf clovers if you're looking. And they have the white flowers that the bees really love. So I don't mow my yard for a while because I like for this to get nice and big for the bees to eat off of. So the herbicides is kind of one of the dangers the bees have right now. And then there's also pesticide, which a pesticide kills pest pretty much. And the pest would actually kill the bee, the larvae, if they spray it on a hive or something, and most likely the queen bee. So those pesticides, we really, really don't like them because it would kill all of them. So next, we are going to we're going to talk about the queen real quick. The queen bee, or how the queen bee is chosen. So the nursing bees decide who's going to be the next queen. And most of the time they decide this because the queen bee is not producing the amount of eggs she should be producing. And so in doing that, the nursing bees say, well, we need a new queen. And all the bees, while they're in that hexagon, get fed what's called royal jelly. And royal jelly gets fed to a worker bee for 3 days. That's it. Then they seal this up with wax, and the worker bee's gonna turn into a bee while it's in there. But the queen bee, she gets fed royal jelly the whole time. So in doing so and being fed the royal jelly, she becomes an adult bee. She's the only one that's really considered an adult bee in the hive. The worker bees are not considered adult bees. That's why if they sting you, they can sting you, and with that sting, they die. But a queen bee can sting you, and she won't die because she is considered an adult bee. So that's how they decide who gets to be the queen. And sadly, the old queen, she gets kicked out of the hive if she's not producing anymore. So they've got work to do, and if you're not working, you gotta go. So now we are going to, if you'll get your paper and pencil, we are going to create our own bee, a honeybee. Make sure this is, can you guys see that? There we go. All right. I just want to just real quick. I created one on my shirt of what we're going to do. And you can see I kind of did a fun little rainbow in the middle there. We're going to do the eyes and the abdomen. This middle here is called the thorax. But that's what we are going to do, is we are going to now create a bee. I'll draw out a bee. All right. So first, you want to kind of get it right in the middle here. Oh, whoops. I was actually going to do it with a paper, blank paper. So first, you want to start out with the middle. Sorry, I'm new. I'm trying to make sure that this... Let me adjust this. You're going to do the middle there. And that middle part is called the thorax. I want y'all to write that out right here. It's called a thorax, the middle part. And then you want to come down here and almost kind of draw out a ice cream cone style thing, which is going to be called the abdomen. I'll draw this out here so I can... That's called the abdomen, the thorax. And then we're going to come and make their head just a little bit smaller than the body. And if you need to come in there and erase, I have a bunch of, I do some erasing. I'm not a perfect drawer. There we go. And so once we get their head in, we're going to get the compound eyes, which the compound eyes are off, kind of off to the side. And then they also have 3 little other tiny eyes that are called simple eyes. They've got 2 antennas. And next we're going to do, they've got 2 sets of wings. The first set is called the forewings, which kind of comes in. And then the second one is called the hind wings. So this is the forewings. And this is the hind wings. Okay, we'll come out here and draw it again. Kind of make both sides equal. And then next, they have 6 legs. And so the first of them is right up front. You could kind of do little, I like to do their little. And then the other 2 are in the back. Kind of coming off of here. And then the other one is right back here. You can kind of give it a little definition. Kind of has a little shoulder pad looking legs right there. Oh, these right here actually are the pollen sacs. And then last, that stinger. Okay, so we have the abdomen, the thorax, the head, the compound eyes, the 3 eyes, the forewings, the hind wings, the legs, and the pollen sacs. Now, once we get to here, you can kind of get creative with it. I do like to make the lines on the back. Kind of come in there, make those lines. Then right here, you could kind of make, they have this movement on their backs. And then the wings get a little trickier, but they don't really have to be too precise, but you can kind of just make some wing movement in there. Same with this, just kind of put some wing action. I'm going to kind of go in there and fill everything up. And you could kind of, I'm going to make these real fun. I'll do this. And we're going to draw out the wings. And then next we can start coloring it in. And I'm just going to maybe I'm going to do some purple eyes. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make that stinger purple too, just for fun. And then next I've got, some hot pink. And I think I'm going to make my wings some hot pink wings. And kind of color out there. Fun. Remember, these are called the forewings. These are called the hind wings. You know, I'm going to go ahead and just make my pollen sac legs pink right there too. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in, I do want to do the yellow in here with the stripes. So I'm going to bring this yellow in here. And I'm gonna finish it up in here too and create this yellow. There we go. Now I'm gonna come in with the black. Actually, you know what? I'm going to circle this with some brown. They definitely are brown, although I'm not wanting to have a perfect looking bee. Let's see. Oh. And then I'm going to come in with the black and really start making it pop, which is like what I call, if you had me in any of the classes, I always talk about making it pop. And this is how we make it pop. Kind of hit it with that black and outline everything. You know what? I'm going to make this into a peace bee. Just because I can. And we got the peas. Because, you know, bees don't really want to sting you. All they want to do is go get the nectar, go cross-pollinate, and do their job. The only time that they are going to sting is if they feel threatened. And so we want to be nice to them and just kind of give them their space and let them do their thing. So I don't know about you, I like fruits and vegetables, and I'm so glad that they go cross-pollinate so that our food can grow and the beautiful flowers. Oh, yeah. Almost done. And if you guys are still working on yours, you don't have to rush. You can continue to work on it. Maybe you could make a beehive in the background or some flowers, something, all right. Touch up some areas. Okay. All right, well, that's my peace bee there for you. Put this back up. Also, I wanted to show you, I made this bee headpiece last year. I love it. I wear it out when I go teach this class. I'll adjust it again. Okay, well, that's it. Oh, one more thing. If you know where a bee hive or a bee swarm is, you can call 918-981-4200. bees, which is 2337. You might want to write this on your paper. 918981 bees. They will come get the swarm or the beehive for free and take it to a farm where the bees can do their work. So, well, thanks for tuning in today, and thanks to AHA Tulsa, Tulsa Public Schools, and Rogers University for making this lesson possible. Let's find our own ways to keep Tulsa creative. Thank you so much.